Welcome back. I'll start by reading some very glaring statistics that I was given, that we found out, that the global sports industry is worth 1.1 trillion US dollars. Now, wait for this. Horse racing. Who would think that horses will attract so much money, eh? Horse racing has a $102 billion impact on USA each year, with 1.8 million full-time jobs and 1.9 billion in taxes to US Treasury. Now, beyond that, I see here, for example, that in 2015, Nike generated 28 billion US dollars. I'm sure that 28 billion is from some of us who wear Nike sports shoes here in Nigeria. Okay. 28 billion US dollars. I mean, and tons of things like this. And it's crazy that this exists. When we think sports here, we're thinking about stadium. We're thinking about going to the Olympics or going to, you know, but, you know, was it an eye-opening for you too, Dr. Omosu, speaking to Nkechi?
It was, really, because...
But what hits you the most?
You've mentioned the global...
You're talking about money.
Yeah, talking about money. I decided to now look at it country-specific. I now came into the United Kingdom, which has the most vibrant league in the world. In a year, the UK industry, football industry, Premier League, attracts 800,000 visitors from outside the UK.
Some of our top bank MDs go.
Go, yes. 800,000 in 12 months, bringing in 700 million pounds, accounting for 1.3 billion pounds of UK tax. Yes, that's the amount they make from tax. To the extent that all the clubs, the profitability of all clubs are practically guaranteed.
That thing annoys me, eh?
So
when we hear people are earning £250,000 a week, we know how they get the money.
The £250,000, we've gone beyond that. We're talking now of £400,000 a week.
Yeah.
That's every 7 days. You have £400,000. It's better to say it in days. Then now you're just talking basically what comes in from the tourist. I'm not talking about those living in the UK. The hotel expenses, the transport, the phone calls, it's just roller coaster. Every aspect of the economy benefits. To the extent that the English Premier League now, the CEO now announced that they're going to take $1 billion from the profits of the Premier League to apply to grow grassroots football.
They do that every
in
year.
Spain,
No.
I think.
Now, check this out. In 2014, Manchester City's new football academy was opened. Opened by who? George Osborne, the Chancellor of the Exchequer. That's the Minister of Finance.
He smells the money.
With the Minister for Sports together. That rang a bell. I remember when the former President Jonathan came to Echo Hotel, when Ben Bruce pulled him, and he came with Sanusi, Minister of the CBN Governor, and Okonjo-Iweala as the Minister of Finance, was it then? Or Aganga. Two of them came in. Let them see what Nollywood is all about, the entertainment industry. And that opened the floodgates.
Are you planning that for sports soon?
So we think that should be done for sports, because for them to come, it means the CBN governor says the money. So why is it that there's if a state or a club wants to open its own academy in this country, is it that the CBN does not understand the economic potential of sports? Or is it that the Minister of Finance does not see that? Now, that is where the NESG comes in, to draw the attention to the figures.
Okay, now to you who have gone all the work, why haven't we been doing this? Is it because we've only been looking at government, or because there's some wuru-wuru, because there's government money? Right now, for example, the NFA, people are dragging, you gave this person money, you didn't give this person money.
It's our attitude in this country, and I don't want to single out sports as, it's just that that's my area. But it cuts right across the economy, it cuts right across our attitude. We have been a bottle-fed people. So to do the hard work is very difficult. I keep telling people say, but there isn't that much money in Nigeria. I said, statistics have shown us that Africa has 1 billion people, of which 350 million are middle class. There is no way Nigeria's population is 170 million that we are not at least 10 to 15% of that middle class. So I can count 35 million middle class people
that can pay
500 naira a week.
For some fun.
For some fun. Now, we are not creating events in this country. Sport is driven by events. If you do not have events, nobody will go anywhere. I was just telling you, in all our conversations while we were coming getting ready, that I stay up late at night to watch an event taking place in Miami. I stay up till 4 a.m.
Because it's interesting.
Because it's interesting. So what we want to see here is an investment in building a product. And that is why my 3rd division league, we're looking at, okay, you're all privately owned. So it's easier for me to sell to you. I don't have to go through one commissioner of sports who will go through the head of service or go through the secretary to government before it gets to the governor.
Bureaucracy.
No. Instead, I pick up the phone and call the chairman of Woodhill FC that, listen, this is what's going to happen. I've got people who want to bring money and what have you, and I need you to sign over for 20 years, this. And he sends me the document the following day.
Okay, what does that mean? Does that mean that we can get to see? Because we don't see these things on television. We don't see it on TV.
Yeah.
No, what
all we have available.
We need to go is a step-by-step process. First, and that's where it was good that the NESG has now said, okay, let's help to chart this course. There are some regulations and what have you we've got to get. Government can't ever go away. There are certain things they've got to give. One of them they gave years back, a tax deduction. So right now there's a tax rebate.
If you build stadia?
If you invest in sports.
Pioneer status.
Yes, pioneer status, you invest in sports. Now, the second thing is that there must be a pool of funds, investable funds, for investing in real estate, investing in manufacturing, investing in creating that value chain. It's not investing in running and jumping. We're not going to invest it in athletes preparing for the Olympics. I've been speaking here at this one, and I'm sure you've noticed, I really don't care a toss about whether we play at the Olympics or not. No one has ever been able to tell me what is the value of an Olympic medal.
When you come back home and you can't
Nigeria's
practice.
64 years of going to the Olympics, only 2,000 people have gone. And so we spend those hundreds of millions of dollars to send only 2,000 out of 170 million people. So I don't actually care too much about our athletes. I really don't. And I always tell everybody, and they don't like that when I say that. I care about the sports. I always tell people is a pyramidal structure. There are those 10, 20 people up there, and there are those hundreds of millions. It is the hundreds of millions of people down there that I want to take their 500.
That's where the money is.
And that's where the money is. The best example of that, 10 years after Michael Jordan retired, Nike still pays him $100 million. He doesn't play, but he gets it every year. Why? Because Nike knows that 200 million children are going to buy the latest Air Jordan at $400 each.
The canvas.
No, but do you see that happening in Nigeria, though, where we can build that grassroots level? And after speaking with her, what are those those things we must do, especially for our political leadership, even for us, the electorate?
Right. Okay. Well, good thing the Senate President is a sports person. When he was the governor of Kwara State, he brought in Jose Mourinho. He played a key role there. I think the speaker, too, likes sports. Now, and incidentally, the current Nigerian president was the president when we won the first Under-17 World Cup.
Yeah.
Yes, in the Kobade's group. So you understand the value of sports in uniting this country. Now, let's come down to the real economics. Corporate Nigeria has not keyed in fully into the economic potential of sports.
They can fly and enjoy their sports abroad now.
Abroad, yeah, but they're not keyed into it. But Glow is beginning to show some good signs in that regard. But, you see, there's a way Nigeria is specially structured. When the government leads to say this is the new kid on the block, the new economic sector on the block, everybody follows. When the government, years back, but 7, 8 years back, pushed on Nollywood, overnight, you see them. Today, Nollywood ambassador, Glow ambassador, Airtel ambassador, this, corporate Nigeria now bought into them. Now, let's see that happen in sports. The talent, let me use football as an example. Look at the supply chain, the value chain. You take a stadium. To build it, it has to be financed.
That's real estate.
So
It has to be managed.
Construction will take place. Somebody has to manage it.
That's employment.
Employment. Then, and most people don't understand, when you mention the stadium, they just think it's just the main bowl. The main bowl is the most insignificant part of the stadium. Give you a simple example. You know how
the restaurant
ShopRite is? You put a stadium main bowl in the middle of ShopRite. That is what it is. It is a complete facility.
So all those places
It's a
are
retail center.
It's a retail center. So
I'll give you the best example of that. Real Madrid.
Real Madrid example, exactly.
Real Madrid Stadium, the only football thing is that pitch.
It's the pitch.
It's a shopping complex.
Yes.
So Monday to Saturday.
Something is happening.
Yes.
Trooping, families.
You are visiting the museum. You are the Arsenal Stadium, Emirates Stadium, same thing. Old Trafford, Liverpool. Liverpool increased their stadium by 11,000 to be able to, 13,000 people to be able to compete.
So what we're saying here was roundup. What we've been able to do here is to let Nigerians understand that when we talk in sports, it's beyond soccer.
Running and jumping.
It's beyond running and jumping. No, it's not just soccer. It's beyond betting. In fact, look at the kind of money people are making from betting.
Betting.
He said they were betting on Nigerian
Betting
soccer.
is
It's illegal and illegal.
In China.
In China, they bet on Nigerian soccer.
Wow. At this point, I must say thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you very
There's
much.
possibility there. Me, I will crawl inside and see where I can make my money. But in the meantime, I remember going to watch football with my father as a kid, watch Benden Insurance. My prayer is that we'll be able to take our kids, maybe not our kids anymore, our grandchildren, to do this if this works, and be able to enjoy Nigerian sporting facilities the way it should be.
Again.
Thank you so much for being on.
Thank you very much.
It's a pleasure.
That's what Seriously Speaking has been like that. We'll see you again.